Yeah, we live. We live straight politicking on all you mofos. And I'm here with Munchie B, the mayor, Street TV headquarters. I'm Alex Alonso 101. And Munchie B has been in the news pretty consistently for these last 4 weeks. First it was 607 Unc, now it's 4 Extra. And then all the content you got going on your page has been going up.
Right.
Like consistently.
Right.
Like you don't hit another level of the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I think it does have to do with the 607 Unc to the 4 Extra. These guys have been inserted in the algorithm. Then their stories are intertwined with you. You're talking about it, and boom.
Yeah. And, little rebuttals based on the content I put out on 4 Extras. Certain people out of this community didn't appreciate it, so, they logged in with Young Ant.
We're going to talk about that because I heard my boy Baby Runner a little upset about it. But
Right.
We're going to get into that. But we got a few topics on the table for today. We're going to talk about the 4 Extra injury and then your reaction to it. Then there was a unfortunate death of a motorcyclist out of this 60s area. They was over there doing a vigil on 63rd. No, it was on Hyde Park and Crenshaw. And the police pulled up deep and got into it with a lot of people there at the vigil. We're going to talk about that. Also, we really didn't get to talk about Free Diddy, as you've been saying since the beginning.
From the gate, I was saying that's the crazy.
Yeah, and hey, I found the clip where I said he was going to get a mixed acquittal, and that's exactly what happened. He got three acquittals, 2 guilties.
All right, but what ratio was you thinking? Mixed acquittal mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Was you thinking 3-2?
No, I wasn't.
Not at all.
I wasn't thinking any number. I was just thinking like the RICO's weak. He's going to be found guilty of something, but he's not going to get. I said it's probably going to be a tall tale to get a sweep, meaning get acquitted on all 5 counts. But he got acquitted of the most serious count, so we'll talk about that. And then lastly, this dude Wack100 just posted some BS on his Instagram page about you and I.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. But
That's his favorite thing to do, huh?
yeah. Well, I don't know. He doesn't really talk a lot about me. He kind of stays away from me. But every once in a while, he'll throw a jab. You know. But I got a fact check from last week. We were talking about the most talented high school in terms of hip-hop. Which high schools produce the most talented hip-hoppers? And it is by far, to me, Centennial High School, with just the three that we know. There's others, but just saying Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, and Kendrick Lamar. I don't think there's any other high school on earth that has produced
successful artists like that.
Yeah. So
all legends.
And it's rare to have a high school put out so much talent in one area, in one thing. And then I got sidetracked and started talking about basketball last week, and I was thinking about that high school that produced. I said it had produced 4 NBA players, but it actually produced 9 NBA players. But it was Dunbar High School, out in the Virginia, Washington D.C. area where Muggsy Bogues went to, and I pulled up a list of the most talented high schools, and your school was on there, Munchie.
Shout out Morningside High School, man.
They were on the list. They were a little bit low on the list, but hey, if you make the list, that means you're talented. The school's talented.
Shout out Lisa Leslie. Shout out Eldon Campbell. And shout out Byron Scott, even though he's getting sued by the young lady right now. I hope he come from up under that. But, yeah.
But there's another school named Dunbar that's a little higher on the list. But out of all the high schools on this list of 30, there's like 30 high schools that have produced like 5 or 6 NBA players. I think the most was like 15. But Dunbar High School, where Muggsy Bogues played on, is the only school that had 4 future NBA players playing on the same team at the same time.
I want to know their record. I wish we could find that out, like their record back then, like, you know what I'm saying, how they was dogging people.
It probably was not even fair, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like that team that LeBron was on, because I remember when LeBron team came out here and played against Westchester and blew them out. His last year of high school.
Yeah, it probably wasn't even fair. But what's interesting is I was looking, one of the things on this list is it would put how many state titles this high school won over the years. Some of these high schools that had future NBA players had 0 state titles, whereas other high schools had like 5, 6, 7 state titles. So it's not a guarantee that that team is particularly talented, because some people bloom while they go to college, while they get a growth spurt. So some of these schools weren't necessarily great teams, but I bet Dunbar was dominating back then.
For example, if my memory served me right, I don't think Michael Jordan even made his high school basketball team. Like, he had to double back, but he did his thing at North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was. He actually, I think he made the winning shot as a freshman when they were in the title game.
At North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina, and that was a talented team. That team had James Worthy, who became a star with the Lakers, and it had Sam Perkins, who became a star forward for what team did Sam Perkins play for? I can't remember what team Sam Perkins played for, but it was Sam Perkins, James Worthy, and Michael Jordan. Couldn't nobody beat that team. Yeah, that was a hell of a team. But yeah, Dunbar High School was probably dominant. It's actually Paul Laurence Dunbar, who's a popular black. I believe he was a black poet back in the day. Paul Laurence Dunbar.
So how many titles Dunbar got?
Let me see how many titles they got. But yeah, damn, it says here that Muggsy's mom is 4'11", and his dad was 5'5". So there you go. That's why.
They got some athletic genes in their family though, for sure. For them to be 5'2" and compete against people that's 6 whatever, 6'6", you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So since 1993, the school's basketball team has won the state championship 15 times.
Oh, that's cool.
Additionally, the team won national champions in 83, 85, 92. So it's definitely known for his athletics. But yeah, 4 NBA, the only high school team to have 4 future NBA players on the team at the same time. That's crazy. But faux extras, man. He apparently was on his Instagram, posted a reel carrying 2 M80s in his hand, and shortly thereafter suffered a serious injury from igniting one of those M80s. I don't know if dude really lost his whole hand. I don't know if he lost some fingers. There is a photo that looks like he lost his entire hand from the wrist, but I'm not sure if that photo is authentic, if somebody put some extras on it.
That photo real.
If that photo's real,
ain't nobody got time. When that photo came out, and I know how quick that news was, who had time to do that fast?
Yeah, if that photo's real, it looks like he lost his whole hand. Like there's no more fingers. It might have went to the wrist, if that photo is real. Because my question is, where's the video? Somebody would have been shooting the video, or maybe out of respect for faux extras, they didn't post the video.
It ain't nowhere the video because the picture shouldn't have been taken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm mad at the wrong person. Don't be mad at these people making these comments and this content. Who took that picture?
I was thinking that maybe we didn't get a video because it would just be disrespectful to put that out there.
I think the picture is disrespectful.
I agree. Putting that picture out there.
Because once it go up, it's everywhere.
Now, one thing that makes me think the photo is legit is that there's blood splatter all over his hoodie. There's a huge amount of blood on his sweatpants, and there's even blood splatter on the tip of his sneakers. So I'm like, that is an incredible amount of blood. I'm assuming it's all his, but I'm learning that there was another guy standing next to him that was injured as well.
Yeah, somebody told me they seen a picture of the dude that was with him. He had a cast on, and he had like bandage on like one side of his face. You know what I'm saying? But
so he's okay then.
He alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got his vision.
Yeah, I ain't sure because I know one side of his face and he, like, you know what I'm saying, got tore up. So I'm not sure, but yeah, that's crazy.
Now there's reports about faux extra also having some sight issues.
I heard that too. Some say it came back a little bit. That's what I heard, and I hear mixed things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, M80s are known to make you lose your vision if you ignite them too close to you. It is known to do that, but it's also known to make you lose your vision temporarily. But I know a little bit about losing your vision temporarily. I lost my sight in one eye for about, I want to say, a month to 6 weeks. I don't remember if it was 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I had to wear a patch on my eye. I got rushed to the hospital after a brief little squabble on the street, and next thing I knew, I was being rushed to the hospital, man.
So he hitting that hard, huh?
Nah, man.
He turned your TV off.
Hey, if I just only told that part of the story, it would sound like I
Right.
dude got with me. But nah, what happened was I actually had the dude on the ground. I was on my feet over him, doing what you do when you got the person in that position. You're in a superior position.
Welling on him.
Yeah. And the next thing I know, the guy pulled out a small little squirt bottle and started squirting an unknown chemical into my face. And immediately lost vision in both eyes, got rushed to the hospital, and I ended up having to wear a patch over one eye for about a little over a month. And we were wondering if I was going to get my vision back, because it wasn't pepper spray. It wasn't hey, what's the jail term for the spray? When they yelling it, they about to spray it in juvenile hall.
OC warning.
OC, yeah, OC. It wasn't that. Even the doctor said we don't know what this is. They speculated it could have been some sort of bleach and some chemical agent that had me on my pockets. But after about a month,
So once he sprayed that,
instant.
the tables turned and he got on you.
Nah, he ran. He left. He got out of there.
Oh yeah, he wasn't no goblin.
He got out of there.
Yeah, he wasn't no demon.
Yeah, he got out of there.
I would have thought like, you know what I'm saying?
And I couldn't see, and two people that I knew took me to a sink and started throwing water on my face. I said, I can't see. And next thing I knew, I was laying in the Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital in Vermont. Hey, I was glad that when they peeled those patches off my face,
You seen daylight?
I saw daylight.
Everything.
I saw daylight. And it's crazy to talk about vision with you, man, because you done been through it at the highest level.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. They told me that my shit basically gone. You know, it's always like a follow-up appointment. But it's really useless. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you like hopeful, you know what I'm saying? Go back and they basically say the same thing they said before they discharged me. And then, you know what I'm saying? And it was what it was from there, though. But hell yeah.
You must have been in the hospital for about a week or so, huh? Longer than that?
I was in the hospital like 7 days.
Okay.
Seven, like a week, and I was about it there.
But, you know, technology today and in the near future, using stem cell research could pretty
They
much...
was saying that in 2012 when I got shot. It's 2025. Like, see, I never was looking towards that. You know what I mean? Hey, cause that's how you be in denial. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you know America is slow. We ain't up to speed with medicine, like Beijing and all that. You know what I'm saying? They get to getting the bar going on stuff, and they get to practicing and doing all that little clinical trial, whatever. They up to speed, but I don't even think about a stem cell surgery or none of that. I just, you know what I'm saying?
So you don't even, like, look it up or try to find out
Hell
information
no,
about it?
cause hell no, that you know, like you waiting on your taxes, but when you looking for it, it take longer. But when you just not looking for it, it just come through. Like hell no, like if I was to be like waiting on some stem cell surgery or science to catch up to itself or whatever, man, I had gray hairs, man. Like, hell no, I just keep it pushing.
Yeah. Well, the injury that four extra sustained, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious. I think that these types of these injuries can bring depression over us. I've interviewed several paraplegics. I've interviewed a guy that lost his arm, and they all talked about depression and coping with it and using narcotics. Now, 4X is a guy that boasts and brags that he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke.
Right.
He might be more resilient to that. I think you spoke about it. You were very resilient to the natural onset of depression that hits you after a disability.
Yeah, I was on some figure it out type get up. You know what I'm saying? Cause like what, getting shot the way I did it, like what, 21 or some shit. I don't know, but I was in my prime. You know, they shot me out on songs. I'm fresh out of jail. I thought I was a pimp. I had a hoe or two. I was having fun, and then boom, I'm like, no, I ain't done yet. So I was trying to figure it out. I went to Boost Mobile. Is that what it's called? And then I got a flip phone, cause you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, the numbers in row. I'm like, oh, I could use this. Then I'm like, man, this ain't cutting it. And then I end up, you know what I'm saying, getting hip to some other. I'm like, I'm on an iPhone, like, and then I'm getting up to speed with stuff. Then, like, you just gotta adjust. You know what I'm saying? And that's why them dudes from that 40 community, bro. I think that one individual is very narrow minded. Out of that whole video, they took what they wanted to take up out of it. They took everything negative. They took the 2 jokes. They took. I referenced one of the older homies that's in a wheelchair, and I referenced Stutterbox from Pueblos, right? Stutterbox is, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I interviewed Stutterbox.
Okay, how old would you say Stutterbox is?
Stutterbox is probably a little older than me, and I'm in my 50s.
I was on the bus, so I went into Church's Chicken, but before I walked in, there was 2 Crip dudes that I recognized one of them vaguely, but the other one I didn't. They were sitting down on a flower pot on a little wall and eating. And I had some gray and burgundy feelers on and a red, white, and dark blue feeler jacket with some black corduroys. I had a jerry curl and all that old crap. So when I walked past them, one of them hollered out to another nigga, like, cuz. If I looked back, I thought they was talking to me, but you know, they was talking to each other. I walked in, so I felt the vibe. And I'm like, damn. So I walked to the counter, and it was gates all over the goddamn counter. I'm saying, shit, I'm assed out. Cause you know, what I was gonna do, I was gonna jump over the damn gate, you know, get some attention, cause, I mean, you know, over the counter, you know, cause I'm like, I know I'm assed out, so if I jump over the gate and make some noise, you know, maybe, you know, I could avoid this. So my mind running a million miles, like, damn.
Okay, and he's been blind. How long you would say?
I'd say since like I think he got shot in 86, 87.
Okay, so towards the end of that video, I said, it ain't over. You know what I'm saying? They out here cripping in wheelchairs. You know, you got Stutterbox from Pueblos. You know what I'm saying? He been blind for years. You got Big Gooch from 40s. You know what I'm saying? He 40 cripping for real. It ain't over. That's what I said. Some way they took that and said that was a knock on Gooch from 40s. And I'm like, how? Right? Okay, I said the jokes. All right, I got mines in. You know what I'm saying? Cause I didn't took some licks with the ha-has. All right, but they took, man, come on, bro. Starting off in the beginning of the video, I said, I hope he keep the same energy. Don't let it hinder him. If he do, respect lost. So if I'm saying respect lost, there got to be some respect there to begin with, right? I don't like him, but I know he ain't no buster, and I know he represent. So they picked that apart, and I think it's a Munchie thing, because if it would have came from anybody else, it just would have been content.
Well, I would suggest for people to go watch your whole video on that. It's 24 minutes long, but your jokes were at the end, which was probably 2 minutes of the whole 24 minutes.
Right.
And I thought that the joke. I actually laughed at at one of the jokes,
Shit, I did too.
but then at the same time, I was like, "It's this dark humor. It's dark humor."
Yeah, man. But guess what? From 4th of July on, that's what it's gonna be now. However his hand is, and you just gotta adjust. That's and you know what? I wish I wouldn't have used Goose from 40s as an example. I wish I would have used the homie Skrapp from NHP.
You could have used T-Rail.
Nah, no. Skrapp from NHP is paralyzed, bro.
Yeah,
Skrapp from NHP be whipping. Skrapp, bro, blew my mind. We was at a kickback, and he's in the pool swimming, legs going everywhere. That's what I'm saying. It ain't over. Skrapp out here pimping. He in a club in his chair. Like that's what I mean. It ain't over. I mean, I just think. I mean, the way I take shit on the chin, I just think a person weak if they can't overcome it. Cause I did. I don't make no excuses. I pull up the places in Ubers by myself. I took flights by myself. I'm podcasting. I still get broads. I rap better than 80% of these dudes. Like, hey, shit, just, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta adjust, man.
Yeah, I want to also mention someone that has a lot of background in this is Kalicoat from Athens Park.
Calico. Yep.
I grew up with him and seeing him do his thing over the years, adjusting to life in a wheelchair.
Right.
I've known Kalicoat since 1986. I met him I used to think Kalicoat was from the jungles, and then later found out.
Yeah, that's that AJ.
Yeah. I met Kalicoat in the jungles because of I went to Dorsey, and I partially grew up in the jungle. So, and Kalicoat was older than me, and seeing him in the wheelchair, and then seeing him in the wheelchair in the 80s as a teenager, and then just seeing him the other day in the wheelchair, like bro has like survived all these decades. There used to be a time when paraplegics only had about 15 years to live, because of the way your organs operate when you can't walk and you got lack of blood circulation. But now with medication and technology, I mean, you could live into your 60s and 70s and perhaps into your 80s as a paraplegic.
Okay, question. Because doctor said if Nipsey would have lived, he would have been a paraplegic.
Correct.
I want to know what the viewers think, how he would have carried on had he had survived as a paraplegic. Would he make the best of his situation? Would he, you know what I'm saying? Cause he already be thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying? What he would have been doing the reverse of me, thinking about different like surgeries and stems, like how to get back. I want to know what the viewers think Nipsey would have been programming like.
Yeah, because the coroner did say that one of those bullets ruptured his spine, rendering him a paraplegic. In fact, it was the first shot. The first shot, because if you look at the video, as soon as the first shot goes off,
He was trying to lift up his upper body, huh?
Nipsey just collapses to the ground.
Oh, okay.
He just falls to the ground. So he loses his legs immediately. He can't move. He can't do anything, according to the coroner. So... But hey, I've been wanting to get Kalicoat on the Street TV platform for a minute, man. I hope he's watching. Give me a call, bro. I just bumped into the other day at Zigzag's funeral, so maybe maybe we can get him on here to tell his story of what it's like living like that for the last 30, almost 40 years. I think he got paralyzed in '85. We're in 2025. It's 40 years. He's been in a wheelchair for 40 years. He's been in a wheelchair for 40 years.
Hey, but hold on. Guess who? Cause I already heard about him from my big homies, right? But Ron from 60s introduced me to Big Swanee from 60s. Big Swanee got shot the same exact way I did, and it was the same outcome. Big Swanee trooping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Big Swanee is his son was from the set. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he got two sons. One resting, and the other one I was in the county jail with. You know what I'm saying? So Tiny and Infant Swanee. But yeah, rest in peace to Infant, and I was locked up with Tiny. But yeah, and I hollered at Big Swanee. Hey, my whole thing, I'ma be me regardless, bro. It ain't like me and the dude is friends, and I slid some jokes in there. You know what I'm saying? But the whole moral of the story is, if people got 2 ears, like, you know what I'm saying, keep it pushing, bro. Keep that energy. Don't let it hinder you or you know what I'm saying, break your spirits.
Now, someone in his family set up a GoFundMe for 4Extras. And also, I've interviewed Hitman from Q102. He talked about going through the depression as a paraplegic. He's the first one. He's the first victim in the East Coast Grape Street beef. The day it kicked off, the night it kicked off, he was present at that function and took one to the back. That was 2008.
Hey, but you know what I just said the other day? While at No Jumper, I'm trying. I'll take that boom to the hand. Nigga, he could take his sight being gone.
What you mean?
I'd rather be in this situation with that hand shit than this right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think sight is one of the most coveted senses that we have. People say, "Oh, I'll give up my hearing. If I got to give something up, I'll give up a hand or give up hearing." You know.
I'll give up the hand, bro. I just prefer it to be my left. But if I like, you know what I'm saying, if me and him could swap, I'll swap with him. I'll swap. Hey, oh no. I just gotta. It is what it is. Attitude, bro.
Now I got a question about how the disability impacts you in the hood, because I was interviewing Jay Stone Rue from Fruittown Pyru, and he got shot in the neck and suffered like paralysis on one side of his body. And he was a known squabbler. I would say, some would say, not me, some would say maybe a low-key bully.
Starting from the town, we right here in Gonzales Park, and we right here with street television. I was gangbanging since I was living on St. Louis Street. That's when I officially started gangbanging, because I was living there, but I caught the bus all the way over here to Chester Community Day School and shit in the Nellis. So I caught the bus over there every day. That's where I was getting into it, motherfuckers and shit and all that shit. I already had older homies that was staying over there where I lived at from my hood, you feel me? But like I said, I wasn't into the gang shit or none of that shit. I wasn't into none of that. I was a kid, so I just knew they was Pyrus and shit. I didn't know what gang they was from and none of that shit. I was just they all Pyrus, you feel me? Some shit like Bloods or something So I never knew they was from Fruittown. So when I came over here going to school, some people from my hood was going to that school. So I linked with them and shit. I was cool with them because I wasn't really cool with too many people up there.
But when he got injured and he was disabled, guess what people started to do to him?
Yeah, now they all of a sudden want to fade.
Yeah, now they want to fight you. Now they want to take advantage of you when you're a little down and out and you're not 100%. Do you think he might go through that? 4Extras.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, he gonna go through it. He gonna go through it. But you know, he got a cool support system and a large family from over there, so he'll be all right. It be people they try to lightweight play with me, and they know they wouldn't be able to do that beforehand. They try it. You know what I'm saying?
So you know exactly what Jay Stone Rue went through and what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. Because I think anybody that take a loss, like Jay Stone, me, or what 4Extras going through right now, that's gonna happen. But you gotta supplement that with something, cause no, it be getting charged with me though. But then it be people that really mess with me in my section, and they already know, man, you know damn well if so and so, man, you wouldn't be saying so. You know what I'm saying? And shit be getting handled, or they got this new thing called Crenshaw. Now Crenshaw and it be bad. Not for real. Like Skip seen it before.
Oh yeah.
I just don't worry about the outcome. But nah. Anybody. I'm always rooting for the underdog. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's just me though. But I'm just perplexed on how people out of his community or people that's around him is so shocked that I even has a slight joke or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not an easy person to have compassion for. Like this person, he said he beat up this dude because he learned that he lived in Inglewood and he knew some Inglewood families and whooped him out. He's a civilian. He's a non-affiliate. Well, you know what I mean. So you whipping out, and then I mean, I don't know, bro. It's hard to act. And you standing on it like, man, shit. Everybody affiliated with somebody. No, he live over there, and he whooped our boy out. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Well, some people look at him as a bully, so bullies don't usually get too much sympathy.
Nah. Hey, look. Look. That's what I'm saying. I got it is what it is mentality. I knew at one point, I like, damn, man, if I ever get smoked, ain't nobody gonna be surprised. Probably more so, like, now, like, but, like, damn, I ain't gonna be like, you know how some people like, damn, man, that's messed up. I don't think it would have been like that with me years back. It probably would have been like, damn, man, shit. Oh, yeah, that's how that happened, and shit. I think it was out here. Like, it would have been some shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Now, Baby Runner spoke on you in that phone call with Young Aunt Hefe, and on one side, he's saying, you know, Munchie B was out here. I know who he is. I heard his name. He was out here doing this thing.
And I consider Munchie to be a gentleman, bro. He's a nigga that was out here in these streets, bro. His name was Ringy. He younger than me. He a generation under me. But the nigga heard shit. You feel me? Nigga heard him. Nigga homies going in there and, you know, him being a problem, bro. On 40s, like, nigga get credit where credit is due. I ain't no bitch, bro.
But I expected more from Munchie B. I didn't expect I guess he didn't specifically say it, but the two jokes. It's the two jokes in that video. It wasn't that you were speaking on, Forex. It was those two jokes at the end.
But at the same token, so it's like I expect different shit from certain niggas. Because a nigga like fucking 600 out here trolling or something. Okay, I you know, I don't look at that like that, bro.
Exactly,
God, I don't.
Exactly.
But a nigga like her, I'm like, damn, bro, what's it like? Come on, bro. We out in these streets, bro. Like, stop with the faking. But, like, you be talking, and this is what I was telling Pee-wee. I said, bro, if that was the crazy part, because if that was in my hood, bro, we got certain homies who got, you know what I'm saying, who not all the way 100, and they only got so much talking that they could do. This is just how it operated in my hood. They only got so much talking that they could do, bro, before niggas like, man, fire cut shit up, bro. You just out of control. We ain't gonna let you keep on. You feel me? Just let you just keep on doing all of the like Munchie. You doing all this popping it? Squabble up, bro.
What was? Did you get a chance to talk to Baby Runner over the phone?
Nah, I finally talked to Pee Wee this morning, and I told him I'm gonna hit him so he could bang Baby Runner line on 3-way. You know, so I don't have to be no back and forth videos or whatever. But he had made a dumb example and said, like, you know what I'm saying, that's like, you know what I'm saying, the ops come through and boom, boom, and people celebrating. Y'all didn't even do it. I'm like, but damn, this not even no gang-related incident. It's a freak accident, for one. And I get jokes about the blind things all the time, and the 40s didn't do it. And I don't complain about it, but I mean, when it's somebody you mess with and you cool with, you know what I'm saying, I guess it hit home, and then, you know what I'm saying, you probably looking at your boy in the hospital and it kind of like rubbed you the wrong way. I mean, as it should, but your argument, it was boo-boo, bro. It didn't have no.
Well, I think you're saying the example that he used for his argument was boo-boo.
Right.
His argument is still the same, is that he feels like you were disrespectful in the jokes towards 4Extra. His analogy is boo-boo, but his argument is still the same.
His analogy was boo-boo, and choice of words was bunk. Like, he was like, that was tacky. I prefer him like, that wasn't tasteful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
like,
I mean,
tacky. Like telling a joke that's offensive. I know it ain't it ain't the most classy thing to do. But tacky. Well, I don't. It just because if it's something that you wouldn't do, that don't make it tacky. It ain't your get down. You know what I'm saying?
Now you knew that you was gonna get a little bit of criticism for those two jokes at the end, right? You knew that.
Yeah, but not in the fashion it came from Baby Runner. Cause everything he shot at Ant, and then Ant agreed with. It was all I didn't get it. And then I'm like, why you expect so much out of me? But you said, but yeah, 600. You know, he do the trolling thing, but 600 from neighborhood crib. He can't go to the 60s, but love hanging in the 40s. But he the first one to shoot a joke at 4 extras. That's who y'all should be mad at. You know what I'm saying?
600.
600. Come on, bro. You got to think. 4 extras just said, I ain't Munchie B. I'm like, damn, why you got to throw me in there? You was already making your point. You was marking them out. You was intimidating them. And then.
Oh, you mean 607 Unc?
Nah, 4 extras. What I say?
600.
No, yeah, 4 extras was doing the 607 Unc thing. And it was like, yeah, I ain't Munchie B. Whoop. And using me as an example, right? I'm like, okay. So anytime somebody say I ain't that person, it's a knock on that person.
Absolutely, 100%. When someone there is no exception to that either.
But runners on the phone saying, yeah, I ain't seen nothing. And then, come on, bro. Earlier this year, he said if he would have came across me, he would have knocked me out too. I ignored that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't touch on everything, but. You know what I'm saying? And then I told a female friend, that's the funny part. I'm like, after I left from doing that, I'm like, yeah, I got my little jokes in. I'm over it. Because I was going to get serious on the, like, man, just stick to your script and don't let it hinder you or break your spirits type thing. But then Baby Runner came with the phone call, and that had me feeling like, now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now you made a good point about 4 extras and Adam sitting down on an episode of No Jumper where Adam used a derogatory term for neighborhood. And he said it twice in the same way that 607 Unc used a derogatory term for blood twice.
Right.
In fact, let me just play this quick clip here. This is from a No Jumper interview, September 5, 2024.
You did this whole little song and dance with Break Baby. You did a little clout move. I gotta respect it.
Stop saying that clout move.
I gotta respect the clout
I don't like
move.
that word, Adam.
What, clout?
I'm not getting clout off no nigga.
That's
I'm
a
not
C
looking
word.
for clout for no nigga.
That's a good word.
I'm not looking for clout.
Okay.
And I didn't come here for no mother clout. I came here to talk to two
make
Crips.
great content.
I came here to talk to two Crips.
Who?
Fuck wrong with you?
Okay.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Adam.
Have you ever met DW Flame before?
Who he is?
Before all this?
Oh, before this? You
Yeah.
talking about before, what's the name?
Before the controversy? We called it
Yeah. You said you call it what? What'd you just say?
gate. Like the gate just means like anything controversial involving the first part.
Watch your mouth on this motherfucker, Adam.
I can't even say it when I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, bleep me.
Yeah, bleep me, because I'm able to fire him up over the table.
See, this keeps happening.
Okay, so what was beeped out was, I guess Adam came up with this unique term, Napgate, you know?
Right.
And he said it twice.
Right.
But then he did beep it out for 4 extras, which I thought was crazy. It's not even a curse word. It ain't even a word that would get you demonetized. He just beeped it out.
That show you how much respect you got for the neighborhoods, right?
Maybe just for him, because I don't think he would. Brick Baby wouldn't have tripped. What other?
Nah, Brick Baby.
Crip Mac wouldn't have tripped. You know.
Nah, yeah, you right.
That's for 4 extras.
You right. But that's what I'm saying. And people memory be so short, so he goes off on 607 Unc and say, I ain't Munchie B. I'm like, wow, people forget so quickly, right? I'm like, you responded the same way I did, but maybe a little less. He said N-word gate. He said what? He laughed and said it again. Like, I mean, but you want to use me for example though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think when Adam is saying it, it's clearly not to disrespect, because he's there as a host of a show talking about an incident that happened in the past.
All right, I want people to keep in mind, this happened last year, September. I've been noticed this, right? Never said nothing about it because I know Adam didn't mean it that way. Okay, take you to DW Flame and Brick Baby. I never spoke on that, talking about what Brick Baby should have did and what was on purpose, because I think DW said that out of habit. He didn't mean to disrespect him. He said it because that's how they talk in his jurisdiction. And he said it out of habit, and he didn't mean to disrespect him. The only time I ever said something about somebody dissing is when T-Rail said stroll up instead of roll up in front of Loose Cannon, and I did it because that was Loose Cannon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know stuff be accidents and stuff like that, right? So now this hoover whoop remover, you know what I'm saying? here he go, and he gonna say, I ain't Munchie B. 40 Crip, I'll knock you out. Right, I'm like, damn, why I get a straight bullet? I was entertained to that part. I'm like, damn, all right, man. You forgot what happened last year in September? But, hey, man, I was just bringing it to light, and that's all. But, you know what I'm saying? But, shit, the past is the past.
All right, the last thing I want to mention on this 4Extra incident is that when he was out there on the block before the explosion happened, he was playing around, and he does a kick. And while he does a kick in the air, you can see the ankle monitor on his ankle. He's still.
What? I thought he was off papers.
I thought it was based on what you were saying in the previous episode.
I thought he maxed out.
Nah, so he has this ankle monitor on, and I'm thinking because his PO has been so hard on him, trying to violate him for any little thing he does.
Nah, I think you seeing things, bro.
Nah,
I think he maxed out June 1st and stuff. That was
he clearly had a black bracelet on his ankle.
Maybe that's an old video.
No, it was from the same day. It was from the same day.
Damn.
Yeah, so my question is,
That's toe up.
these M80s that he had in his hand are illegal.
Damn.
They're illegal in Los Angeles. The injuries that he created for his friend is an assault. Whether or not, I guess you would need the friend to file a charge. But there's definitely some parole violations here. Do you think his PO will be that nitpicked that much to, as soon as he gets out the hospital, you're going to jail?
No, I don't think so.
Because of the severity of the injury?
Yeah, because of the severity.
You think they'll have a little sympathy on him because he lost his hand?
Yeah, they go like he punished enough, and then like y'all about to put a lot of responsibility on the people in the county.
Yeah, because of the medical attention that's required.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, I think he gonna be straight though. But damn, I thought he was off.
Well, we'll remind the people that there is a prison just for injured and disabled people. There's a yard. I think it's Avenal.
Shit, I done been to the county a few times just like this. I see respectable rents in all the cases afterwards.
So they're not. What I'm saying is they're not hesitant to put a person that's disabled in jail. They're not hesitant.
But I'm saying how fresh his is, and it's so severe.
Yeah,
it's really invasive. Like me, I've been this way for like since 2012 now. So they're like, get your ass over here.
Okay, so maybe he'll escape a violation. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think he gonna be all right.
It just seemed like his PO is really. What's the good word?
Man, I think that PO. I think all the what you want to call it is out of him. I think he probably feeling bad for him at this point, bro.
Okay.
If his PO ain't from Hoover, A-Track Gangster or Inglewood family, or he didn't beat him up, I don't think the PO. I think the PO looking like, this about to sit him down now. You know what I'm saying?
Probably. All right. Well, there was a brother that lost his life on a motorcycle from out of the. I think he's from out of the 60s area, named Kenny Hall, a.k.a. Quest. They were having a vigil over there on Hyde Park in Crenshaw by the donut shop, and they were pretty deep. They were out there just paying their respects, and then the LAPD decided to pull up and created a whole commotion, a whole confrontation with the people there, and they ended up taking Lil AD to jail and a guy named Don Trell, who I've known since he was a teenage kid. He's 28 years old now. Don Trell is Rayshawn Washington's son. And
Raymond Washington's grandson.
Raymond Washington's grandson, Don Trell. And Rayshawn Washington was also out there paying the respects to the young man. In fact, I have a few clips, and I want you to listen closely to the way the media has characterized this incident, and then we're gonna correct it. We're gonna correct it. Let's see. I got a few clips here. Let me play this first clip from. This is from KCAL News.
PD officers turned on after a street takeover. Let's go back up to Desmond Shaw with more in SkyCal. Des.
Well, Juan, here at Crenshaw and Hyde Park, things did just get kind of tense here a couple of moments ago. This is on Crenshaw. We're facing southbound. You see LAPD with this skirmish line. Folks that are up here in this group, we're getting kind of heated and up in LAPD's face, and so officers had to push everybody back, and there was even someone in this group that their friends had to hold them back, and they were really, really getting heated at officers right now. So that's just one aspect of this. There were also a couple of people over here on Hyde Park Boulevard, and the police were talking about pushing people out of the way, but it looks like they've dispersed. There was also a couple of people east on the east side of Crenshaw along Hyde Park. There's still a few folks out here as well. So it sounds like this may have all begun before the street takeover. It looks like there was a vigil going on. As I zoom in on the parking lot, you can see all these candles lit for someone that passed away. And so that may have been the precursor to all of this. It's not entirely clear how they went from a vigil to a potential street takeover, but hopefully LAPD will be able to disperse everybody soon. Juan, back to you now in the studio.
Okay, Desmond.
Okay, they have, let me count the number of LAPD cars on the intersection here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 police cars on the corner of Hyde Park and Crenshaw for this vigil. Now, before we talk about it, I want to play the other ones. They're short clips. Here's another clip.
What started as a peaceful vigil in Hyde Park quickly turned violent. LAPD officers were called to Crenshaw and Hyde Park Boulevards around 9:30 last night. New video from the Citizen app shows an altercation with community members and police. In the end, several patrol cars had their tires slashed. Still not clear why officers were called in the first place. According to a witness we spoke to overnight, the vigil was for Trayvon Pratt. He was killed in a shooting last month, and so far no arrests have been made.
All right.
Hold on, Trayvon Pratt. I thought they said his name was something else.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about the misinformation from these.
Trayvon Pratt. That's crazy.
Here's the third clip from Good Day LA.
Cars were reportedly damaged last night after a vigil and street takeover in Hyde Park turned violent.
Mario is live in Hyde Park with more on this. Mario, good morning.
Bob Brooke, good morning. Dozens of people gathered here at this South LA intersection to remember a motorcyclist who was killed over the holiday weekend. Police say that peaceful gathering quickly turned violent. Take a look. We have video here from the scene showing some of the aftermath. Damage, including several tires slashed from LAPD patrol cars. This started around 9:30 last night at the intersection of Hyde Park and Crenshaw Boulevards, where about 50 to 60 people met to remember Kenny Hall, a man who was killed in a crash while on his motorcycle near the intersection Sunday night. There were reports that peaceful assembly shifted into a full-blown street takeover with people blocking traffic. Officers arrived on the scene and ordered the crowd to disperse, and that's when they say bottles started being thrown, and at least 8 LAPD patrol cars had their tires slashed, forcing officers to call for backup. LAPD forming a skirmish line to control the crowd and push people back from that intersection. Meanwhile, family and friends attending that vigil say tension started rising once police officers showed up.
We came together. All the community came, all the motorcycle people that he messed with. We all came out here to celebrate his life, and all of a sudden the police just came out of nowhere. Wasn't no fighting, wasn't that. We were just all love out here.
He was a well-loved guy in this community, not just this community. He was a member of a motorcycle chapter, so that's their motorcycle life.
All right. So
was that Cat?
That was Big Cat. Kevin Doucette from 6-0, OG
Right.
Cat.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the issue. No one was murdered, like the second story said. The second story had the wrong name. It's Trayvon Pratt. That's not his name. The name of the cyclist is Kenny Hall, a.k.a. Quest. So, and then this whole thing about street takeover. I don't know why the police fed the media this line, street takeover. I guess they just want to find a way to make a group of people assembling a crime. So they'll say they took over the street, so now we can come out there and kick them off the street. And
but you know, our culture takeover is all the cars hitting donuts and all that, and it wasn't none of that.
Okay, and then those are the media clips. Now I got a clip here from Ray Shauna Washington's Instagram page. In fact, part of this video was used in the clip, but they didn't play the audio. But listen to the audio in this clip from Rayshana Washington's Instagram page. Now, that was there was a shoving. It looks like the police shoved first. A two-hand shove into someone's chest. And then AD and Rayshana's son, they got to, I don't know, scuffling, pushing, shoving. And Rayshana, I believe that's Rayshana, that voice you hear in the background, yelling at the police. But by hearing that audio, you can see how tensions really escalated in that parking lot where the donut shop is at.
I wonder if they go to court yet.
Well, they're okay. Let me go through what happened. Apparently, police officer Mott, M-O-T-T, he's claiming that he was
assaulted.
He was assaulted. So they charged Lil AD and Rayshana's son Dontrell with obstruction and resisting arrest. So they didn't get charged with any assault. So, but they go to court this week. I believe they might be going to court as we're shooting this episode in downtown Los Angeles. And they have no. And let me just add, they both are in custody with no bail.
I'm pretty sure. Skip and Second Call, they gonna show up in court cause AD, he a part of that community, and he usually called to keep crowds under control, and you know what I'm saying, he a leader in this community as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, keeping stuff mild-mannered, you know what I mean? So, like, for them to lock him up for obstruction, yeah, that's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually remember when AD he was fighting another case back in, I want to say 2019 or 2020, and I wrote a letter for Lil AD so that we can keep him out of prison and keep him safe out here on the streets doing the work that he does. And it worked. I believe it worked. We was able to keep him out of prison.
How you say his name? Dontrell?
Dontrell.
Yeah, free Dontrell and Lil AD, because AD he do the work in the community, so they, you know what I'm saying? That sound like massive chaos. Like, goddamn, did they just hop out blitzing? Like,
oh man, I don't know. I'm sure someone called in. We got a bunch of people out here on the corner of 63rd.
But 18 cars?
And they came deep. And I think there were more cars because I'm only counting the ones that I can see in the shot. You know, it was a helicopter shot, and there was I saw another angle where there were a few more cars. So, and hey, look, this is 6-0 hood. This is Rollin 60 hood. This is the 77 division. They getting the call. They going deep.
Y'all used all that. Hold on, they used all them cars. That's down there a whole unit. For that, they trying to celebrate the home going to somebody.
Oops, sorry about that.
And oh man, I don't know. Police be on BS a whole lot of times, man. Hopefully they kick them loose for sure. But I'm almost positive I could bet any dollar skipping them in court in attendance and letting the judge know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and by the time this episode airs, they would have already done a press conference. The family, Rayshana Washington, Lil AD's people, and whoever else is part of this, they're doing a press conference at 77 Division in the front of the police station to speak about how they just kind of came in there and just bullied their way into the crowd and did what they did.
Well, that was a large crowd. That was the only two that went to jail?
Only two that went to jail. They're the only two kind of fighting with the police. And I don't really want to say they're fighting because the cop pushes him first.
Right.
He pushes him first. This is not de-escalation. This is escalation. And I thought these police officers were trained in de-escalation. You got a group of people that are mourning the death of Quest, a.k.a. Kenny Hall.
You got to think, this not even a gang-related murder or anything, you know what I'm saying?
No, he lost his life.
So where you worried about rivals coming through, shooting, and all, he lost his life on a motorcycle accident. You got people from his bike club out there, not only people from that community. Yeah, that was on BS, man.
Yeah, and whenever there's people mourning, the police have to come in there with de-escalation on their mind. And obviously from this footage that Rayshana posted, they came in there guns blazing, ready to whip some ass, and pushing people out in the parking lot. And this young brother didn't care. You're not pushing on me. You're not pushing on me.
Right.
I don't care if you're the police. You're not pushing me.
Right.
And sometimes your reaction to a police pushing you can be legal. If he pushed you for an illegal reason, you have every right to defend yourself.
I mean, if ain't no laws being broken or nothing, you just got a call, and then you push somebody out, shit, he in the right for shoving back.
Yeah, so hopefully these charges get dismissed and dropped over the, of course it's going to take a couple months, a few months going back and forth to court before, these guys don't even have bail yet.
Damn, what's that, Inglewood Court?
Nah, they're in downtown LA. This happened.
CCB?
Yep.
No, because some of they jurisdiction be going to Inglewood Court, and some go to CCB.
Even if you're on the north side of Florence?
Shit, it'd be 60s in Inglewood Court.
I would think it's 60s that are on the south side of Florence, closer to Inglewood.
That is south side of Florence, not LA though. Well, it is.
Only a couple blocks.
Yeah, right.
By the time you get to 77th, it flips into Inglewood.
Right.
So on the south side of Florence, I think you have 73rd, maybe 74th, 75th, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like 74th, 75th on down.
Yeah. So, but if you're on the north side of Florence, I can't imagine them taking you to Inglewood PD. That's 77 division, 100%.
I could be wrong. I think they go to Inglewood Court, but I could be wrong.
Well, I just talked to Rayshana Washington, and she's downtown right now, fighting for her son.
Oh, there go her answer. She downtown.
Yeah, she's fighting for her son. And I support defending yourself against anybody, including the police, if they come in there and act tyrannical. It's in our Constitution. Our Constitution says we have the right to bear arms to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government. And when the LAPD comes on the corner of your community and starts pushing people around when no crimes have been committed, that's tyrannical.
Okay, one of the news clips said we don't have a reason why the police was called out, but they didn't even report to y'all like the reason why they was called out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were just probably called out because it was a big crowd.
They're assuming it's just like some gang stuff going on, but man, he literally lost his life on a bike, and you know what I'm saying.
And what's crazy, one of those news stories said that the guy was murdered. Damn,
man, that name Trayvon Pratt sound real familiar too. They just throwing shit on the news, and they said from last month. Why would somebody be mourning somebody a month later?
I know. I thought that was crazy, but
they got to get this shit right, bro.
Hey, the news makes mistakes all the time.
Nah, not them type of mistakes. What's their consequence when they report the wrong type of news, bro? Do they get suspended, laid off? What's the punishment?
Well, no, they're supposed to do a retraction. So whoever, if I can send an email to that news company right now and say that the person that got killed was Kenny Hall, not Trayvon Pratt, and he wasn't murdered, he died in a motorcycle accident. They will post on, they're not going to take the story down, but they'll put a retraction saying that this story has an error. This is the correct information. There's no punishment because
if that was my son, I'll sue y'all for emotional distress. Y'all making me relive this, bro. My son was put away last month, and y'all blasted on the news talking about we mourning him for something that happened last month. We just got past that, and now, no, that's a lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm looking to sue me somebody.
All right, hey, you've been saying this since his arrest in late 2024. Free Diddy.
Me and Kanye.
Free Diddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw one more guy in there. You, Kanye, and
not Kanye. Oh yeah, me, Kanye, and Lil Boosie.
Okay, Lil Boosie, and then there was Stevie J. Stevie J was very pro Diddy.
Right.
He was very pro Diddy. I don't think he didn't say free Diddy, but he was pro Diddy. I never seen any of that stuff. The Diddy I know, that ain't him. He was very pro Diddy. So we gotta throw Stevie J in there.
Okay.
Stevie J was willing to defend Diddy. So we got Diddy, Boosie, Munchie, and Kanye.
Right.
But even though he was acquitted of the 3 most serious charges.
Well, I thought it was 4 he was acquitted of, and there was 1.
He got found guilty of the 2 Mann Acts.
Okay.
The 2 Mann Acts, which is basically transporting a sex worker across state lines. Let me get the exact federal definition of the Mann Act. The Mann Act, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act, is a U.S. federal law passed in 1910. It prohibits the transportation of individuals across state lines or international borders for prostitution or debauchery or for any other immoral purpose. The law was initially intended to combat forced prostitution and human trafficking, but has been used in various ways throughout history, including targeting consensual sexual activity. So it's an archaic law that's still on the books that doesn't allow you to.
I'm confused. They said state lines are international.
Yeah, like if you Canada or Mexico. So let's say you're in Mexico, you're in Tijuana, and you meet a prostitute.
But that's what it said, international, right?
Yeah, it did say international. So,
but hold on, but none of the sex workers was transported state to state. Every sex worker came from that state: Miami, New York, L.A.
No, they produced plane tickets and travel evidence of, like, for example, the Punisher dude going from either L.A. to Miami or New York to Miami.
You sure?
100%. That's why he was convicted of it. They spoke to one of the jurors. The juror said that the evidence of that was overwhelming because they produced the plane tickets, and they had the text messages from Diddy's assistants that was doing all the travel arrangement. So yeah, the Punisher dude went from one state to another state, and there was another person that I can't remember the other. So that was the crime.
RICO, the Punisher, then the other one that people need to talk about but don't. Yeah, man, that shit crazy.
But it's good for Diddy to a certain extent because he was only found guilty of the least serious charge.
Right.
2 counts of that. But if the judge wants to be funny, or if the prosecution, the prosecution's pissed that they lost on the RICO, they're going to request from the judge a more stiffer sentence because of the violence. And that's certainly possible. That they can say that his history of violence in this trial suggests that you should sentence Diddy to a longer sentence. So we have no idea what he's going to be sentenced to. I'll go through the possible sentences, but I think I have a clip here. Do I have a Diddy clip? Let me play this Diddy clip about sentencing. Here we go.
Hearing unexpectedly adjourned following the conviction of Sean Diddy Combs last week. In fact, defense attorneys and federal prosecutors initially agreed to a September 22nd sentencing date for Combs. This is ahead of a remote hearing that was set for this afternoon. But shortly before the hearing, attorneys for both sides sent a joint letter to the judge saying that they had agreed to the original proposed sentencing date of October 3rd. Combs was acquitted of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, but convicted on 2 counts of prostitution-related charges. He faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison on those counts. And our ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the latest.
Sean Combs is going to be sentenced this fall after he was convicted of 2 counts of prostitution-related charges that together carry a maximum prison term of up to 20 years. He is unlikely to get that much, but federal prosecutors are expected to ask for at least 5 years. Combs will receive credit for time served, which will subtract about a year from the ultimate sentence. His acquittal on sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges took away the possibility of life in prison for Combs, who's preparing to ask for leniency. The defense has already argued Combs has taken steps to address what the judge called a propensity for violence, as seen on 2016 hotel security camera footage. And his attorney said Combs began a batterers program in New York prior to his arrest. The defense has also argued Combs did not make money from prostitution, but rather was the primary client of the male escorts he was convicted of transporting. His attorneys were prepared to ask for an expedited sentencing. They backed off that at the last minute, and so the judge has set Sean Combs' sentencing for October 3rd.
There we go. October 3rd, he'll be sentenced. Now, check this out. The Mann Act, the maximum on the Mann Act is 10 years. He got 2 Mann Act charges. So if you run that
concurrent,
if you run it consecutively, that's where they get to 20.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna happen.
He's run it concurrent.
If he does get to 10 years, they're gonna run it concurrent. That's his max 10, not 20. But his real sentence should be, according to the federal guidelines. Now, when I had FG on Streets and Scholars, FG told me about a chart that gives you the sentencing for different convictions, and it also is based on your history. And based on your history, you get a certain amount of points.
He don't got no history.
So he has 0. He's in the 0 to 1 point category. So he doesn't have a significant history. His criminal history should be 0. So based on the criminal history of being 0, the minimum is 15 months. The maximum is 63 months. I'm guessing that the prosecution is going to ask for that 63 months. Based on that news clip, the guy said 5 years. 5 years is 60 months. So he's going to get somewhere around that 63 months.
Well, Tony Busby, he predicted he'd do, he said it nonchalantly, he'd do between 2 and 4 years. Like,
on this Mann Act?
This what Tony Busby, this is his prediction.
Okay, that sounds about possible, because let's say he gets 60 months. Let's make it even. 60 months is 5 years. You do 85% of that. That means he's going to do 4 years. He's already been in. By the time he gets sentenced in October, he'll be been in there for 1 year. So he'll be out in 3. He'll be out in 2028.
That ain't bad, man.
That ain't bad from facing a RICO, right? To get out. And you notice it's crazy, since from Young Thug to Mad Ronald to Diddy, all these overcharges of cases where everyone was facing life. All of these people were facing life are coming home in just a couple of years.
Man, that girl is not a victim, man. I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. And I hate to be that way since I got 2 daughters, man. But Cassie ain't no victim. That's toe up.
Well, the 2 Mann Acts aren't even about Cassie. It's just about transporting
the workers,
prostitutes. Yeah, getting the prostitutes to pull up.
I'll be hot. Don't call me no prostitute. I'll be hot as hell. I guess is what they is, right? Hey, that shit is funny.
Who, the Punisher?
The Punisher and Rico and
I mean, the Punisher.
Howard.
Hey, the Punisher been giving some interesting interviews lately, and he's been embracing what he was.
No. The Punisher and Rico is very transparent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that.
I haven't seen any Rico interviews.
Yeah, Rico. Yeah, I peeped Rico and the Punisher.
What's the chances that the lawyers are able to file some mitigating circumstances to the judge and try to convince the judge to give Diddy that 15 months? 15, let's say the range is 15 to 21 months.
If anybody could do it, Brian Steele could do it.
Brian Steele.
He a beast.
And look, if he ends up getting the 15 to 21 months, he walks out of jail in October.
Hey.
He walks out of jail in October.
I Googled Brian Steele net worth, bro. If I can remember right, was it 60 million or 600 million? No, it had to be 60.
Yeah, it's probably 60 million.
Bro, man, that dude getting chilly.
Yeah.
He getting chilly, man. He got to be the best attorney in America. Brian Steele.
For feds. For Fed case. If I had a Fed case, I'm gonna get...
I mean, but the state is junior varsity and the feds is varsity. So if he the man in the federal system, he should be able to bully the state system, right?
Yeah, I think good federal attorneys are going to be great state attorneys as well.
That boy Brian Steele, man, he at the top of the pyramid, bro.
But sometimes if you just focus on federal law and you just work on federal cases, you might get disconnected from state law. And if you take a state case, you got to like revamp your whole approach towards defending.
But that'd be like riding a bike. It's easy to get back on because federal law is way more sophisticated.
I think federal law, the bar of proving a case is easier to reach with the feds. Like the federal government doesn't have to show so much proof. The bar is easy to reach, so it's harder to defend a federal case. It's harder to defend a conspiracy case.
Versus in the state, the burden of proof is on the prosecution.
I mean, it's still on the prosecution and the feds. It's just that they have more, like RICO. RICO is a tool that makes everything illegal. Everything's illegal. You know, where without that RICO, a lot of these Fed cases wouldn't even exist. But if Brian Steele can do it, I would be impressed if Diddy walks out of there with a 15 to 20 month sentence.
Man, if he do that, man, he might as well just retire, man. Retire on top, man.
Nah, once he's done with this case, he's got cases pouring in.
Man, bro, but these cases, you got to study around the clock. You don't get a break. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to go home and kick off your hour. How old is Brian Steele?
He's not.
If he over 50, retire, bro.
Yeah, he probably is. But no, you know what the passion that these lawyers have for working?
I can imagine. They get a rush.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me see what his age is.
Tony Bunsby, whatever, you a bum.
He's 61. Brian Steele.
Retire, big bro. Retire, big bro. You done did it, man. You legendary.
Nah, he's hit his groove these last few years. This is the most success he's ever had as an attorney. Why stop now?
Man, you right.
You got so many clients now that want you. You know, I even think Big U should consider hiring Brian Steele with some of that.
Can't afford him.
I was gonna say with some of that San Diego Charger money.
Man, I don't know, man.
Drag that case out, and his son is about to sign a mega contract. You know, once he gets out of this rookie deal he's in.
Not to detour. You know what's funny about you bringing up his son? I remember maybe a year and a half ago, Cash Jones was on the internet saying how his son is going to be a bust. He's been injured, X, Y, and Z. Oh yeah, and then this last season he balled out and he led the league in tackles. You see how haters work?
I would love to find that clip. I gotta find that clip.
You see how haters work, bro? Haters try to manifest all that little weird energy. That's weak, bro.
I'm gonna have to dig that clip up because his son is one of the top linebackers in the NFL.
Man, I believe he leading the tackles like at least first 1, 2, or 3.
He had 88 tackles last season for the Chargers. Led the team, and I think he was in the top 10 for the whole NFL. And he's only gonna get better. He's only gonna get better. In fact, I bet you Brian Steele will take Big U's case, and he could just say, "You owe me because of your son." They just write a contract up.
Mm-hmm.
You owe me whatever $1 million it's gonna be. He's good for it, and that's a case that Brian Steele could work some magic on.
I believe Brian Steele could pull it off.
Yeah. Before we move on to our final topic, because I'm sitting here looking at the Mann Act. I just want to mention that the Mann Act, which was first originally known as the White Slavery Law, it was because of women that were prostitutes back in the day, and they used the Mann Act to bring down the first black heavyweight champion of the world, a brother named Jack Johnson. I'm going to put a link here into this great article. It's entitled, "The White Slavery Law That Brought Down Jack Johnson Is Still in Effect." The Mann Act was designed to prevent human trafficking, but used to punish interracial relationships. I don't know the details of Jack Johnson's relationship, but he did date a lot of white women, and a lot of people were pissed. America, can you imagine, 1910, you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you black as night, and you dating white women in America.
Yeah, once you go black, you don't go back.
It says here, Johnson, let me just read this one part. Johnson wasn't the only person affected by the Mann Act. Jack Johnson, the heavyweight champion, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act of 1910, the law was invoked over and over again to punish black men for their relationships with white women, affairs that challenged the racial status quo. So this law that Diddy was just found guilty of was used to prosecute brothers that were dating white women, and I don't know, I guess they threw in prostitution. They allege that they were involved in prostitution at the time to convict these brothers, but Jack Johnson ended up being found guilty of it.
That whoever made that law was a hater.
Absolute hate.
Hating on them, the pause, no Diddy, but them big dick black men, bro, and they just hate it, bro.
Yeah. All right. So
man, no Diddy, but free him. But bro, that bro, man. You know this ain't alcohol. This is water. I just that for the, I didn't see when you said that earlier and you said the name. I kind of like kind of read that wrong. I was like, oh okay, but I didn't know. All right, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, they brought down Jack Johnson
and a few others.
Hey, Jack, when you watch the footage of Jack Johnson and all the heavyweight fighters back then, the way they fought was funny because they didn't fight with their fists up around their face. They fought with their fists down around their waist, and they threw punches from like their stomach, like they lunge punched each other. And then I guess at one point somebody decided, hey, it's probably better to keep your fists up and fight.
So they just knock it. They was beating each other ball upside their face. They ain't even guarding their face.
No, they weren't guarding their face. They were throwing. They had their fists low, and you just the whole fight they're just throwing punches from the stomach area and throwing those like lunging punches from like haymaker punches. But Jack Johnson knocked everybody out. He knocked everybody out. And maybe somebody could tap in with me. I want to know who was the first fighter that decided, hey, it's probably better that we have our fists up for defense. Because you look at all the fighters, they were fighting like that back then. That was just the technique.
Yeah, so I know that shit look goofy.
It does look goofy when you look at it with today's, looking at it in hindsight with today's vision. All right, last but least, I take that back. Last but least, and you just mentioned this dude, Wack100. I don't know what this dude's obsession is with you, Munchie, but whenever he can, he throws a jab. He throws a jab, and it's always the same old thing. It's that ridiculous clubhouse rant that you had with Rockstar. That they keep replaying and replaying. But on his Instagram page, he posted a clip of our reaction to the feds indicting a bunch of Bloods out in Lancaster after these guys were already in state custody for a year. They were in jail already in the LA County jail fighting this case, and then all of a sudden the feds came in there and took over the case. You remember this topic about a week or two ago?
Right.
Okay, so he posted a short clip, and on his Instagram, he wrote, "Believe them when they tell you who they are. Peanut Butter Man sits with a district attorney assistant and just throws my name, my hood, into a gang murder."
Imagine that.
And all you did was just say that they got Bloods deep out in the Antelope Valley. In fact, Wack's community, Pacoima Piru Bloods, they deep out there. And that was it.
Right.
We played the news clip of the story. I read some parts of the article that covered it. But he's saying that we threw his name and his hood into a gang murder.
Man, Wack, you ain't murdered nobody. You harmless. What the fuck? About through my name. Hey, why everybody want to be like the boogeyman and through my name? Man, you ain't did nothing to nobody, bro. And bro, it's widely known that the PDLs and the 2Ps are deep in Palmdale, Lancaster.
See, that was information to me because I always thought that they had gangs. They have gangs out there.
Yeah, they got their own gangs. They got BIG. They got Bob. They got Penthouse Players. They got Taking Off Phase, Black Menace Mafia. They got all these gangs out there, but they got like remote gangs. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a gang. Like at one point, PDL had an injunction in Palmdale, and they hood derived from Pasadena, and the the 2 pieces deep out there. At one point, it was, hey man, I don't know why you keep trying to put this snitch narrative on everybody, bro. Why everybody got to be telling, bro? Why? You know what I'm saying? The two P's are my friends, bro.
Hey, how did I become a district attorney assistant? That's
I don't know, man. I don't think Lil Esborn from 60s will agree.
nah.
I don't think Baby Red from Blackstones will agree.
Definitely not.
I don't think rest in peace. What's
Poppy from
Poppy from Kitchen will agree. These are all people you aided to get back to the streets, bro. I don't think they agree. I think you trending in the right direction as far as helping TC get back. Where DA where? I'm confused. Cash Jones do more DA work than anybody. You said that man guy had his son killed for insurance money.
And they've been doing what they've been doing for 20 years and it ain't worked. So they use my name and act like it's an issue.
It's not possible that he genuinely hates you.
I don't know him. How you hate a motherfucker you don't know?
I hate plenty of people I don't really know.
You know, he need to hate. You know, this motherfucker, he got his own son killed for the life insurance money. You gonna do a interview with this type of motherfucker? You ain't got no morals.
That's a hell of an accusation.
What's real?
It just doesn't really sound likely to be true.
What's real?
If you know that, wouldn't the police know about that? Wouldn't like somebody know about that? Who's his son? Who are you talking about? Should I Google that? Am I gonna find anything if I Google that?
He's not here.
What's from the Bay?
Jay Diggs?
Jay Diggs. You said he set Mac Dre up.
Had a conversation, a sit down with a guy who does not get along with you very well.
Get along with me.
Jay Diggs.
I don't know that dude.
Apparently. He wants to throw down.
I've never seen him. I've never talked to him. Never did business. Never been in the same room. I don't know him.
Right, but you've made some pretty extreme claims about him.
I responded to his shit. And see, you took an interview with an op. That's your right, because this your platform.
We only talked about you a little bit.
Right? Now, unless he want to talk about how he lined his son up to get killed for the insurance money.
See, what is
we
that?
Ain't talking. We can talk about it. We ain't talking about it. How he got some responsibility in getting, old boy killed that they love up there in the Bay. We ain't touched content on that, Adam.
So his son, for the people at home, died of a seizure induced by lean usage, apparently. I feel like
induced by what?
Lean usage.
Wait, induced by what?
You do a little bit of damage to your own credibility.
Induced by what? Induced by what?
Lean, allegedly.
What the fuck was in the lean? Do the research.
What?
What was in the lean?
You tell me.
I'm telling you, do the research.
I wasn't involved in the
okay then.
The audit
do the
of
research.
the
Don't talk about my credibility. If you do the research on what was found in the lean, motherfuckers drink lean all day long.
Okay.
What was found in the lean, and then do the research on a motherfucker that gave his own son lean because he thought it was cool. Like some of these niggas roll blunts with their kids and pop perks with their kids because they think it's cool.
Why do you think he gave his son lean?
It ain't about thinking, it's about what we know.
How do you know that?
Did he collect the life insurance?
I don't know. Do you know?
Well, that's a fact.
Even if that was true, don't you think
that's a fact.
It's kind of ugly to be bringing that to the table.
Yeah, that ain't he got the other man smoked.
That's what you said, bro. You called that this indictment was coming down on Big U way before it came. You text his wife and said 911. He need to get up out of here, and then the house get raided a day or two later. You the one got all this information. You the one had a case in 05, and then he just disappeared to my interest of justice. The justice ain't never in our best interest. Not they type of justice. Where did that case go from 2005? It wasn't no illegal search. That's what it wasn't. You and your brother, y'all both are ex-cons, y'all felons, and they found ammunition and loaded firearms in the car. The dog went off. The dog going off, that's probable cause to search the car. So how was it wasn't a probable cause? Hey, bro, you lie a whole lot. You always close to the fire but never get burned. Why you get to extort everybody and never go to jail, but they got Big U? Why you bullying people for Ray J and you got a what's it called, like a civil RICO? Why it ain't criminal? Bro, you slicker than baby oil. Word to Diddy. I swear to God. You can't call nobody the police, bro. If I'm the police and you just Big Paru and you so tapped in, why ain't nobody from Inglewood family handing over no paperwork? If you think the 60s hate me so much, did I tell on them? Why they ain't got none? I don't know, man. Hey, bro, you're not a credible source, brother. You're not.
Yeah, he was very comfortable talking about how Big U was allegedly linked to the Rayshawn Williams murder in Vegas back in 2021. He's the one that brought that to the internet. Nobody was talking about that homicide that happened in 2021 until he brought it to the internet. Him and 600.
Man, listen,
That's
bro.
insane.
Listen, bro. You don't help the police. You don't give them hints and you don't give them leads, bro. Not indirectly or directly. That's dry snitching / snitching, bro. Man, you gotta quit it with the snitch, this snitch narrative. You know what I'm saying? You got to, bro, because it's looking bad. Bro, you dry snitch on people all day on the internet. All day. It's crazy, man.
Okay, well, this post that he put up there, I want to go through, just read some of the comments on this post. I think they're very entertaining. The very first comment is from your boy Christopher Lovejoy. I don't understand how your name even come up with gangs in Lancaster.
Hey, Christopher Lovejoy got some nerve. See, I want to say something, but I don't know if I'm supposed to repeat it because, you know what I'm saying? But you, all right, hey, man, Christopher, chill out, bro. No, for real, chill out, man. She got videos of my Lovejoy here. Like, he mimicking the police. Like, man, you ain't no actor, bro. What, you a crisis actor? Said he had it.
Christopher Lovejoy had a bunch of responses to that one comment. I don't understand how you snitch and go to Big U court date. Let's see.
Hey, bro, the only time you're supposed to be in court for somebody is if you're there for yourself or you're there to support. You don't go to troll nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, here's Christopher Lovejoy's response to that guy's comment. That was Spud Gotti. Christopher Lovejoy says, nah, you don't mention a man from a whole other city in a murder. That's dry snitching. He's talking about us reacting to that news story.
Man, everybody know Wack is harmless, bro. He not gonna do nothing. Ain't nobody mention him in no murder.
He said, and then Christopher Lovejoy continued to write, is Munchie B hinting to Wack had something to do with a murder in Lancaster?
No, I'm hitting till you get knocked out in 15 seconds.
All right.
Hey, man. Hey, it be the audacity of the people it come from, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're truly, to me, they're truly playing characters. There's nothing real about these guys.
Right.
I mean, we all understand 607 Unc. That is a pure character, but so is 600.
But okay. But what happened to 600 case? The one in Blythe. He said he'd drive way to Blythe and get the paperwork too, but he never went.
I'm unfamiliar.
He had a trafficking charge. He got pulled over with a large amount of weed, and on the side of the road, and I think what they call border control. They put him over and they took him in, and that case is sealed. Like what's going? I just want to know, like, you know what I'm saying? And he acted oblivious, like he didn't know why it was sealed, and he said he would drive to Blythe to get the, you know what I'm saying, the necessary documents, and he never did it.
Have no idea about that case, but I do know the day I met 600. Did I ever tell you the story? The day
I didn't want to repeat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I didn't know if I was supposed to repeat that.
I never said it, but shoot, let's talk about
Drum roll.
The day I met 600, I walked into a cigar lounge full of police officers, and he is sitting there amongst about 4 or 5 other police officers.
Smoking cigars with the pigs.
Now, you may ask, well, Alex Alonso, what was you doing walking into a room of police officers? Well, on that day, I was interviewing a corrupt cop from New York City that was here in L.A. I was interviewing this cop. He took an Uber to this very studio. After the interview was over, he says, can you drop me off? I said, where do you want me to drop you off at? He said, at the cigar lounge in downtown L.A. I said, no problem. That ain't far. You gave me a dope interview. No problem. So I pull up, and I pull up right in front. There's parking right in front, and I walk in with him just to be cordial. And
He's hanging out with a gang of off-duty police officers and corrupt cops, bro.
That was the first day I met 600. That had to be almost 2 years ago.
What type of Rollin 60 hang out with a bunch of corrupt cops and off-duty police officers at a cigar lounge? Bro.
Yeah, so it's out the bag.
Okay, I see. That's what I was about to say 2 minutes ago, but I'm like, I don't know if I was supposed to repeat that. Bro, you can't say nothing. Wack, what are you saying about your son hanging out with the police smoking cigars? People got to hold people accountable around here, bro.
Well, to me, what was crazy, 600 being there, I was like, okay, this is weird. But what was really weird was that the cop that I took there was a convicted criminal corrupt cop. And the cops that were there were on duty, like real cops, working cops. And I just thought, this is weird. I didn't know that corrupt cops still maintain relationships with working cops. I thought you got ostracized.
Right.
You went to prison. You were deemed no good. You know, just like a snitch would be ostracized from the hood.
Right.
But he's sitting there with all these other cops, and then there's a cop from the airport police that says, "Hey, did you go to John Burroughs?" And I said, "I did." He said, I remember you from John Burroughs. So we end up having a conversation, and then about maybe 10, 15 minutes in, I'm like, I got to get out of here. I don't want to get too comfortable here. And he gave me his card, the one that worked at the airport, and I never called him. But I walked up out of there. But I was a few things threw me off. The fact that this corrupt cop was hanging out with cops that were still working cops, non-corrupt cops. And then 600 being there, I thought it was just a little unusual.
It's supposed to be unusual, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, bro, hey, it's the people that be talking and stuff I'm speechless, bro. See, I've been not saying that for the longest because I didn't know if I was supposed to repeat that.
Yeah, I wasn't really. I didn't want to I didn't want to put it out there really because there may be an explanation to why he was there because there was a guy that had a YouTube platform that was also there.
He wasn't on YouTube yet, bro. He was a fake manager back then. He was trying to manage. Was he trying to manage Crib back then?
Well, he wasn't doing his own content, but he was definitely popping up because I recognized him when I saw him. I was like, oh, I seen you on the internet.
Okay.
You know, I was like, okay, this big dude, and he was brand new on the internet at that time, and I was just like, damn, this dude just popped out of nowhere. He's supposed to be managing Crip Mac, and he's supposed to be the head of this cutthroat management. And it was just, that was the day I met him. And I got out of there. I got out of there about 15 minutes. I sat down, though. I will say I sat down.
Hey, see, but you trying to drag other people into this, but you came in there to speak to somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So we can leave his name out, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not a cop, you know what I'm saying? He a content creator came to speak to somebody, and that's when you seen Officer Lovejoy, with off-duty police officers and corrupt cops smoking cigars.
That's about accurate.
Come on, man. Stop playing on grown folks, bro.
I sat there for about, 15 minutes.
Hey, Wack, man, I've been a person of interest too many times, bro. I don't even play them games like, you know what I'm saying? I think people get it twisted because I get on there and I'll be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I might talk to a 40 or a 60 or an enemy, or I do gang prevention and intervention. Far from a snitch, bro. You'll find Michael Jackson hanging at your house before you find some paperwork on me, bro.
All right, let me read some more of these comments under this post he did on us, because it just shows that his own fan base ain't feeling him. His own fan base don't believe him. The Ruger 10 said, all that Ninja said was, yo hood be out there deep, LOL, you reaching. He said, your name because you are the biggest from over there. You want blood to be bad, so bad it's sad, LOL. Detroit for a week said, ain't that what you did to Big Useless? Trust My Life said, I can't believe you won't talk about that gun case in Texas.
Woo! 2005.
I'm not picking and choosing comments. I'm reading these comments back to back to back to back.
Order.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pick out the negative ones and skipping the positive one. But it's cool when you said Jay Diggs killed his son on multiple podcasts, even though he wasn't convicted, right? That's from Cam 1K.
Whoa.
90s rap OG says PDL always been in Lancaster for as far as I can remember.
Thank you.
Black Juan says, Ninja, you do the same goddamn thing. Which I don't agree with him because we did was not nowhere near what he does.
Yeah, the lane homies is already convicted. They are already locked away, and it's widely known that the PDO's got a heavy presence in Palmdale. But go ahead.
And what his Instagram post doesn't show is our whole clip is about 12 minutes long. We played the news clip. We read the article, so we wasn't telling nothing that wasn't already in public domain. Gold Money Grill said, so what is it called when you got on Clubhouse and said Diamond had some lady murdered that he's not even charged for? I'm not familiar with that one. You ever heard of that one?
I think you're talking about Diamond. That's a part of Kiwi Damu Conversations.
Okay. Hit JB says, Bro said y'all gang be out there deep. He never once said y'all did it or was involved. Y'all ninjas be reaching. That's another guy that probably saw our whole clip and follow straight politicking. Hit _JB. Thanks for watching the whole episode. I mean, I can go on and on these clips, but the point is that his own fan base, we all get negative comments, Munchie.
Right.
But usually it's balanced off with a lot of great positive comments. And in most instances, the positive comments far outnumber the negative ones. On my channel, I'll say it's like 90-10. 90% positive, 10% negative.
Man, my celly in the pen, bro, was from 2Ps and came to jail from Palmdale, bro. Baby Snoop. He lived out there. Bro, it be like that sometimes with, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be settling in or whatever. I don't know, but, man, shut up, bro. Like, come on, man.
Someone said, Eric, Mr. CEO, said, Wack lives out here on Avenue M.
he live out towards the Antelope Valley.
I thought he was in Vegas with R&B.
Well, they talking about, he probably still got that spot, but, like, it's a little bit past Palmdale. It's called something. I forget what that city called, but it's towards the Antelope Valley. He out there. See, you a 2P that's in the Antelope Valley. Supporting my answers. I mean, see, man.
Jug Specialist said all he said is y'all deep in Palmdale. So, yeah, his own. Hey, Wack, your own followers, your own folks, your own fan base ain't even feeling what you putting out there. So
that exposure shit, been bunk, man. You ain't exposing nothing, brother. You ain't exposing nothing. If you try to expose me, it's gonna really turn into snitching on your behalf. So you just chill out, bro.
Now, I usually don't say free people too often because I work with defense attorneys and I don't never want that thrown back in my face when I'm there trying to defend somebody. But I will say free Lil AD and free Don Trell because from what I saw on the video, they don't deserve to go to jail or prison or even be locked up right now.
They're gonna be out.
Yeah, they'll be out. All right, where can they find you at, Munch?
You can hit my Instagram _Richard Hart Podcast. I need to start paying more attention to that Instagram _Richard Hart Podcast and like and subscribe over there. Munchie B the Mayor YouTube channel. I'm going up.
Alex Alonso 101 on all your favorite platforms. Street TV on YouTube, and we're on all podcast audio platforms, Spotify, iHeart, and Apple. Leave us a rating and review if you're vibing to this audio on your Apple Podcasts. Thanks for tapping in on another episode of Straight Politicking. We out.